So welcome back. You're actually joining me in my garden for this Carpinion, which is a little bit different, I know, but I've just got back from a quick 24-hour session, giving these bad boys a test right here to see what I thought about them. New Direction contacted me via email and asked me if I'd like to review their bite alarm set, so obviously I jumped at the chance and got them to send me some over. They've sent me the 3-rod presentation kit over and the receiver as well, and obviously Bluetooth to your phone, which we'll talk about in a short while. I went down to the bank, set them all up, and tried to get a few runs on camera just to see how they reacted in real life situations. I think it's all good me holding a bite alarm here for you like this and then running a bit of line through it or a blade of grass, but it doesn't really give you that sense of feeling. So I took them down the little runs of water and put them to good use and got a few runs which you'll see on the camera in a short while. So the case itself, let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. I'll leave my phone for this bit as well. So retail price of these, you can buy 2 alarms on the receiver for 150 quid roughly, 3 alarms on the receiver for 190 quid, 4 alarms on the receiver for 230 quid roughly. So price point is very low actually for the amount of stuff that you get on these. The price point is very reasonable. A lot of the tech and spec inside this case you don't get on the highest level of alarms that you'll pay 500-600 quid for, so a lot of bang for your buck in this box right here. Let's get it open. Obviously comes in a nice little presentation case, so you can keep them all safe while you're out on the bank. Move all the gubbins out of the way. You get your usual instruction manual, all that type of stuff. You have to excuse the car. There we go. So in the case, 3 alarms. You get the receiver there as well, little lanyard for the receiver. And you get the snag ears here which come with the case. You get a pair of snag ears for each alarm, so if you obviously bought 4 alarms you'd have 4 pairs of snag ears, and they're all colour coded to your alarms as well. So you have red, green and blue. All comes nicely padded as you can see. Really good little box. So initially from this point, thumbs up so far. Other bits that you get, user manual. You also get a little bag which has got some spare O-rings in. And also, if I can get one out without it taking too long and dropping everything all over my garden, you get little quick locks. If you can see those, there you go. So you get little quick locks as well. I haven't used those. I imagine they go underneath your alarm so they're easy to take on and off your bank sticks or buzz bars. That's what I'm guessing anyway. So the alarms themselves, here's one right here. Put it on my hand there so you can see it. Quite a compact little unit. Sliding battery case at the back. Feel really nice and tactile. They feel like they're good quality. There is a little bit of a rattle there, but that's because of the roller wheel inside. All in all, a great little package on here. I'll cut to a little closer view for you so you can see it a bit closer now. On the front you have your volume adjustment, your sensitivity adjustment. This little ring in the middle here is the night light. You also have 2 LEDs here that are flashing LEDs for if you get a take or a drop back. On the side here you have 1 button which is for the nightlight control, and it also has a silent control we'll talk about in a second. And on this side you have your power button, and if you press them both at the same time it links them up to the receiver. On the back you have your sensor there, which is the control for the automatic night light, and obviously your battery pack at the bottom there. On the top you have little mini snag ears if you like, as they come with. You can unscrew these. Unscrew one, and then you can put your snag ear in the top of it like so. These snag ears are actually powered, so the light on top corresponds with the LEDs in the front of the alarm, so when you get a take or a drop back those illuminate and flash for a drop back, etc. as well, which is a great little feature. And they just unscrew, and then the little cap screws back on top of it again, and they all come in included in the box for you, so you don't have to spend extra money on any snag ears or anything like that. They all come with it, which is fantastic. So there's the 3 alarms. You get this handy little receiver with it. It's got 5 LEDs on the top. You have 4 for alarms, and there's 1 for the, I think it's the TX9, the sensor for the motion detector. I might be wrong with that, but you get 5 LEDs now. You can get a motion detector as well. Little toggle joystick on the front. It's not just a button, it's a full joystick. And on the top you have your power switch, which is middle for off, left if you're looking at it for vibrate, and right for tone. Same batteries in the back as well, exactly the same, and nice little lanyard attachment on the top there, nice and handy. So going back to a couple of features of the bike alarm, as I said, there is a silent mode on the side there. That silent mode enables you to press it when you're setting your rods up, and it stops them beeping whilst you're adjusting your bobbins and getting everything set, and that stays silent for 30 seconds then automatically comes back on again after 30 seconds, which is a fantastic little gadget for all those people that are on the bank that don't switch their alarms off when they're setting the rods up and frustrate every other angle on the lake with constant beeping and constant noise. So great little feature just there. And you have the same button, sorry, does the night light adjustment on the front from the actual alarm itself, so you can set it to off, on and auto, so it comes on when it goes dark and goes off when it goes light. Great little feature, handy little alarm. The alarms themselves have loads of features, as I've already said. They have, on the alarm themselves, you have a volume sensor, sensitivity sensor, tone adjustment as well, and that can all be controlled from the alarm unit, or if you're a little bit lazy like me, or it's raining outside the bib and you don't want to get out to adjust anything, you can do it all off here, off this little toggle switch on the screen. You can adjust each alarm individually, so you can adjust the volume, the tone, the sensitivity, the night light, what the drop back indication is for each alarm as well, whether you want a different tone for the drop back, you can adjust that. You can do absolutely everything that you want from this. It's an amazing little bit of kit. So features wise, more than you will ever need and probably ever use, but it gives you every option and every feasible gadget to do with bike alarms that you can have for a really good price. Moving on to the actual Bluetooth itself, I'm going to get my phone out here, so bear with me while I'm looking down. Download an app from the Apple App Store or the Android App Store, which is what I use, and it's the New Direction Bike Alarm Set Bluetooth app. You won't be able to see it very well here, but I'll zoom in for you so you can have a look. If you click on the button, it gives you the options there for red, green, blue, yellow and purple, which are all the colours you can get in the alarm, and then your anti-theft alarm as well down the button if you have one of those. So it displays it all there for you. Again, you can adjust all your alarms from the app itself, and it tells you everything that you need to know. A handy little feature with the app and also the little receiver is on both of them it'll indicate to you which rod is going off, which colour is going off. It'll also tell you how much line's been taken. So if you're getting loads of line bites, then it's only moving 1 or 2 centimetres, you can adjust your sensitivity accordingly from your bivvy, which I think is a fantastic little feature, especially if you're all comfy and warm in the middle of winter in your big snooze and you're all quite happy in there, but you're getting loads of line bites. If you don't want to get out to adjust anything, you can just pick up your phone or your little receiver, adjust the sensitivity back a couple of clicks, and it's all sorted your way. Fantastic little idea. So how did they get on in a real world test? I'm going to cut to a couple of clips here for you. I've got 3 takes on that I managed to capture for you on camera. There were 4, but the battery died on my GoPro on one of them, not your problem. So I've got 3 takes. First one is a proper run. Second one's a bit of a line bite, so it gives you an idea how it reacts to that, and the third one was a duck, so it'll tell you how it reacts to ducks as well, which is fantastic. Doesn't matter what it was doing, obviously, as long as we get some action on the alarms, that's the main thing. So we'll cut to those now and you'll be able to see exactly how the alarms react.
That was a duck. That's a duck.
So there we go, good little bit of footage there in a real world situation to have a look at exactly how the alarms react and how sensitive they are. Now the sensitivity on those alarms was on maximum, which took me a while to figure out because I thought maximum sensitivity would be 9, but it's not. Maximum sensitivity is actually 1. So when it's on sensitivity 1 or 0 even, that's its most sensitive, and that's what they were set to on volume level 1, I think it was as well, so nice and quiet. You can set the alarms to 0 volume, so they don't beep at all and just your receiver makes noise if you want to, which is exactly how I have it when I'm fishing normally, not on camera, because I don't want to make loads of noise on the alarms, and sometimes I don't want people to know I've caught a fish either. So so I just have volume on my receiver, or even just vibrate, and no volume at all on the actual alarm head itself. Now the important stuff. So you've seen all about the product. I will do a bigger in-depth video when I know more about it, and I'll go on to that in a second. What do I think about the New Direction bike alarms? I try and keep my Carpinions as honest as possible. Yes, they have sent me them to do a review of. That doesn't mean I'm in a contract with them. I'm not being paid by them to say anything in this video. I'm going to be completely honest with you about what I think about them. Off the top of it, I think they're very good bike alarms. I think without taking it away from New Direction, it's hard to make a bad bike alarm these days. The extras that they've put on the alarms are fantastic, and that's their edge. They've got the Bluetooth capabilities, they've got the complete control from the remote or from your phone, which I think are features that are vastly better than the other bike alarms that you can get out in the market at the minute. I think the sensitivity is fantastic on them as well. I think that's almost a little bit better than a lot of alarms out there. Now, you have to bear in mind that my alarm experience, I first started off with the old Optonics. All you old boys out there will know what they are, some of you cooler young kids as well. And then from the first day that Fox brought out their first bike alarm, I have owned Fox bike alarms, right up to my NTXRs that I've got at the minute. I haven't owned any other bike alarms. I've played around with Delkims, I've played around with Nash bike alarms, lad's got a Nash bike alarm, I've played around with some Gardner ones, so I've had hands-on experience with yours, but I've only ever owned Fox. But sensitivity wise and a couple of the features, I think these outdo them all by far, and for the price point that's saying quite a lot. There are some niggles with them, and I'm going to go to those now. The first one being the batteries. And it seems that quite a few people have the same opinion as me, so this won't come as a shock to New Direction. The batteries are, I don't know what they are, ER14250M, means nothing to me. That's the battery there. 2 per bike alarm, 2 in the receiver. Pretty normal type of setup. But I haven't seen or found a shop yet that sells these, so it means that you can't just nip down to Tesco and pick up some spare batteries. There might be a shop out there, I haven't found one yet. It means you've got to buy them off eBay or buy them off New Direction themselves. They sell them as well, but that in the long term is fine. If you're a prepared angler, it doesn't make a blind scrap of difference, because you'll have your set and your alarms and you'll always keep a spare set with you. That's fine. For the guys out there that aren't prepared and run out of batteries, or forgot that they've run out of battery and need to get some more, they're going to be a little bit stumped for that quick session. So that's my first niggle. The second one is the volume and sensitivity adjustment on the front of them are what I call an infinite turn. So they just keep spinning around like that, which is fine, it's not a problem. But they're numbered 0 through to 9, which to me is a little bit irrelevant, because if it's an infinity turn, it can end up anywhere. You can knock it, you can move it, it can end up anywhere, so you're never going to really know. I spent last session only adjusting them by the receiver themselves, because I didn't trust myself of where I was up to with the little dials. All the other ones I've used before, the Fox ones, they start, you turn them and they physically stop, and then you know you're at the maximum setting, and you turn it back the other way and they stop, and you know they're in the minimum setting. That's what I'm used to. It doesn't say this is the wrong way, it's just what I'm used to. I'm sure that after a few sessions I'll get used to these really quickly and I won't have an issue with it at all. Bear in mind I've only used these once, so this Carpinion is based on 20 hours angling with these guys and a handful of runs on them. So bear that in mind. I've had plenty of playing with them on the bank, I've been adjusting them and things like that, trying to get used to them, but in the long term I'm sure I will get used to them. And that's my second little niggle. Like I say, it's not a big one. Third niggle, which wasn't actually my fault, I'm going to name and blame Tony for this one. On the front of the alarms and the receiver you have a little New Direction sticker, which is very nice, a little sticker. On the receiver it fell off, just fell off. The stickers, there's nothing else, which is fine. Most bike alarms have stickers on them, but mine fell off. It's not a niggle with the product, just a niggle with my receiver. The one and only final niggle that I have is, if you remember me saying previously, on the side of the alarm you have a little button, and if you press it, it turns the alarm silent whilst you're messing and adjusting your rods and bobbins and things like that, if you just cast out. That silent doesn't transmit to the receiver, so if you've got your alarms on silent, or well, if you press that button for your alarms to go on silent, your receiver will still go off. So that's something that I thought they could have just edged that over, unless I'm doing something wrong. Please comment in the comments below new direction if I have done that wrong. But yeah, so that was my only niggle. Now, my niggles on the grand scheme of things are nothing. I do Carpinions to be as completely honest as I can do and point out the things that bug me about a product, and that's all I'm doing. Someone else might not have an issue with the infinite turn dials, someone else might not have an issue with the batteries at all because they use them on something else, someone else might not care that this doesn't go silent when you flick the switch. Everyone's different, but these are just my personal niggles. So, and like I said, in the grand scheme of things, they're not big. The batteries aren't cutting out, they're not getting soaked, they're not breaking, they're not falling apart in my hands apart from the sticker on there, which is, again, Tony's fault. All in all, I'm actually really impressed. And for the price point, as I said, from 150 quid for two receivers, for two alarms, sorry, and a receiver in the case, I think it's amazing for the functions and gadgets and gizmos you get on them. I don't think there's something that comes close in the slightest bit. And then going up to obviously 190 quid for three of them, which is the set that I've got here, and 230 quid I think I said for the 4 alarms and a receiver if you like to guest a little bit on the side, or if you're allowed to fish 4 rods on your water. I think the price point is amazing. I'm going to be keeping hold of them for a while because I want to really get used to them and give them a bit of a longer run test myself, and once I'm fully capable of using them properly, I will do a proper tutorial on how they all set up and how they work, how you get the Bluetooth working on your phone. I know that a few people have said they've had issues with that, but mine connected straight away. I didn't have an issue at all. So I'll do a proper tutorial and run through of exactly how you connect them, how you can set them up, and the things that you can actually do with them. And we will touch base on that in another video. But for now, I think that's all I've got to say. I think they're a great bit of kit. If you're in the market for an alarm, and you don't want to fork out 550 quid for set of 3 alarms and a receiver, have a look at the new direction gear. I think for the price point it's fantastic. I don't think of a better alarm system for the price point than this. Like I said, I need to get used to them. When I was on the bank I was messing up with the tone and all sorts when I was trying to figure them all out, but I think given time and getting used to the control of them, I don't see an issue at all, and they've worked perfectly for the past 24 hours, so what more can you ask for? We'll touch base again in the future on these and do another video just to see how we're getting on, but for now, good product. Really happy. Take a look at them, New Direction website, and see what you think yourself. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any ideas about them, or if you've got a set yourself and you like them or you don't like them. Let me know how you feel about them if you've got them, and if you're looking for some alarms and want a little bit of a help, contact me on YouTube, on my Facebook page, on my Instagram page, send me a message and I will help you out best I can do. But that's it for this review, so take care of yourself, and if you're on the bank soon, have a good one. If not, get out as soon as you can.